Hello friends, welcome back. Now we are going to discuss the topic of left wing in Indian politics. Left wing in Indian politics. First of all, I've downloaded some maps for you, so we'll just see those maps to have a context or to have a broader, overview. Okay, it may help to us in some extent. Okay, first of all, this map. So this map is for this is for India Naxal affected districts. Okay, you see the how much area is there. See, this is here. You see Chhattisgarh here. You see the Andhra Pradesh here. You see Odisha. This complete Bihar is there. Jharkhand is there. Bengal is there. Okay, this here Bengal is there. Here see Karnataka. Karnataka, Kerala. Okay, this is Maharashtra. Okay, there is some this Naxal here also, here Uttarakhand also. Okay, so this is 2007, 2007. Okay, now racing ahead to the 2018, 11 years later, only here, here. So here is Telangana. So this is not here. I mean, this is not Naxal affected. This is mainly at the border of Telangana, Andhra, Chhattisgarh. Okay, here you see this is Jharkhand and Odisha and Chhattisgarh border. Here MP, Chhattisgarh. Here MP, Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh border. Okay, 2018. So next, again, organized political violence events related to Naxal Maoist insurgency, 2019. See the number of events. This is the number of events. See the intensity of this darkness here. So most of these events are happening in the Chhattisgarh. Okay, Chhattisgarh. Some are in the Maharashtra, some are in the Odisha, and some in the Jharkhand and Bihar as well. Okay, again the intensity has lowered down a bit. You see the color. This you see, if you can see it has got little bit lighter here. This is also got lighter. This is also got lighter. Okay, this is also. So in here number of events 1 to 117, here 1 to 102. So organized political violence events related to Naxal Maoist insurgency 2020. Okay, now this is interesting map. All these maps I have downloaded from the internet. So this is, see, this is the border. Here you see this Maharashtra. This is your Telangana. This is your Chhattisgarh. So see this zone of convergence of all the boundaries. This one here, see Dantewada. Okay, in Chhattisgarh. Here is Odisha. Okay, so this Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, Telangana, Andhra, Odisha. Okay, this one. Okay, now we'll see this map. Okay, conflict affected districts total 165. Highly affected, then moderately, marginally targeted. Okay, Institute of Conflict Management. So this area again, Chhattisgarh, Andhra, Telangana, this Jharkhand. Okay, this is Jharkhand area. Okay, then they have zoomed out this area. This here is Dantewada. This is Bastar. This is Baladila. This iron mines of Baladila. So see, this is more affected by the Naxal. Okay, again the same map. See Baladila somewhere here. Okay, here, and this is your Dantewada, Bastar, Bijapur, Sukma. Okay, this is the very heavily Naxal affected areas. This is this map is denoting us the presence of left wing parties. Left wing parties has been extinct now, but just Tripura still there is a main opposition party in Tripura is left wing party. This here some in the Bengal, and they have made government in coalition or not. Now they are alone. This in Kerala. It's only 3 states they have been present here: Tripura, here West Bengal, and Kerala. They have some presence. See this is the heading is left out in cold, means the performance of left parties in the election. Okay, 2004 they've got something 59 Lok Sabha seats. In 2019, this is the worst ever performance. 2004 they've got 59 seats. 2019, after 15 years, only 5 seats. Okay, only 5 seats. So the left's best performance was in 2004, where they in the 2004 to 2008 2009 UPA one government, they pulled out support, because of this Indo-US nuclear deal. They were the kingmakers. They were very crucial. So blanked out in 2019. They blanked out in Bengal and cut down in Kerala. 2019 was the left's worst performance. Okay. Here in 1964, Communist Party CPI Marxist was formed after a split in CPI. Okay. In 1967, left parties notched their best tally since the first Lok Sabha polls. Okay, in 1967, and the Congress won 283 of the 520 seats, while 79 seats went to right-wing parties. Okay. Here, in 2019, after losing Bengal to Mamata Banerjee in 2014, left saw its worst performance in parliament. Okay, these are some maps. So left is a decaying force right now. Okay, now we'll just discuss. Okay, Naxalism, brief timeline. Okay, Naxalism or moist conflict erupted in 1967 after the violent peasant protest in the Naxalbari district of West Bengal. Okay, this was the government forces managed to curtail the movement in late 1960s and 1970s, but in mid 1980s it got revived, and it was seen as the gravest. It is seen as the gravest internal security threat, surpassing the externally funded terrorist movement in Kashmir and the northeastern insurgencies in overall impact. Okay, objective. The main purpose of this Naxalites is to establish an alternative state structure in India by creating a red corridor in Naxalite affected states stretching from border of Nepal to central India to Karnataka in south through violent struggles. Okay, and for this, to achieve this political objective, they required the local support, and that's why Naxal rebel leaders take up the local cause like Jal Jangal Jameen, water, forest, land, and provide justice through their committee like Sangam and Jan Adalat, People's Court. Affected areas, Naxalism has spread to 17 states, prominently in Assam, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, okay, etc. 185 out of 602 districts. Dantewada, Bastar, okay, Dantewada, Bastar. You see the map of something like this, no? Chhattisgarh, Dantewada, Bastar, down. District of Chhattisgarh, the movement has shown no signs of abating there. So it is still very strong there. Reports indicate that Naxal there are 15,000 men and women, in the Naxal armed Naxals, with 12,000 firearms and unarmed cadre strength of 2 lakhs. Nearly 60%, of the armed contingent of Naxalites is in southern Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand. Okay, southern Chhattisgarh, both are hilly areas. Baladila mines, southern Chhattisgarh, and in the Jharkhand, the hilly area. Urban Naxalism. What is urban Naxalism? The activities, the activities carried out with Naxalites or CPI Maoist in urban areas is called urban Naxalism. The activities carried out by them in the urban, the Naxals which the activities which they carry in the urban area, so that phenomena is called urban Naxalism. What activities do they carry there? Okay, according to CPI Maoist, okay, being the center of concentration of the industrial proletariat, means propertyless, urban areas play an important part within the political strategy of the new democratic revolution. Okay, so that's why they say that since this is the there is a concentration of urban proletariat class there, industrial proletariat which are propertyless. So this may be the this is the center part of their strategy, of the new democratic revolution. Okay, the Maoist envisage, they think that they would mobilize and organize industrial workers. They will be able to, because there is too much this disparity. If you go to the urban area, one is too much wealthy, other is very poor. So they seek to exploit that fault line, that gap, that disparity, to their advantage, and they want to organize those people, industrial worker, and channelize them towards playing a leadership role in organizing the agrarian revolution by sending advanced detachment in the rural. They will make a leader out of them, and they wish to send these people to the rural areas, to foment this agrarian revolution. I don't know when. I mean, why to send if you want to just make the organic leader if they are so much. So the activities of the Maoist in the urban area include maintaining safe houses. What is in the Naxalism? Naxals maintain safe houses. Okay, they hold meetings. They provide logistic supports, mobilize and recruit youth, student workers. Okay, that's it. Further, Maoist contend that the urban movement should be conducted through various types of mass organization. You see, if you see the there's plenty of protests from the left wing. It's not like they are Naxals, but the principle is a little bit closer to they are peaceful here. The wider the organization, the better. Okay, these organizations are of different types: secret, open and semi-open, and open legal mass organization, which are not directly linked to the CPI Maoist. Okay, the last of these would include Maoist inspired cover organizations. Okay, and legal democratic organizations. Okay, they will be they will not be the Maoist organization, but they will be inspired from the Maoism. Okay, and they will be legally sound organization. They are, nobody can say that they are illegal. Okay, so but they will be doing the urban Naxalism. Okay, urbanization itself has so many fault lines, and Maoist could well exploit. Yes, fault lines means the differences in plenty. Economical, social, political, whatever be the what do you call, identity or something, aspect, there will be a difference. So there cannot be uniformity in the society. It is impractical. Okay, so there will always be a difference. Also, the stronger the movement becomes in the urban area, the more it is likely to contribute to the agrarian revolution. This is something very awkward. This if the movement is getting strong in the urban areas, they are trying to create leaders in the urban areas, and they are hoping that these leaders will go to the rural areas to create some agrarian revolution. Okay, the problem of urban area and rural areas are different. Okay, though this leftist or Marxist reduce everything to the economic aspect in the society, but the thing is different. There may not be in the urban setup there may be a economic difference, but in the rural setup there may be caste difference as well. Okay, which may be more prominent. Okay, something like that. In terms of providing leaders and men material to the people's work. Okay, beside Maoists enjoy some degree of sympathy. Okay, so that's why it is essential to keep a close watch on the Maoist activities in the towns and cities. Now, development related causes for the spread of left extremism. Barring a phase in 60s and 70s, the left extremism movement has largely agrarian, and that seeks to mobilize discontent and misgovernance in the. It seeks to mobilize discontent and misgovernance. Yes, there is a discontent in the common people, and it is not solely the you cannot put blame solely on the government officers there. Okay, because these public officers are also working in extremely low resources. Okay, but because our country is resource deficient, but very few people think like that. Whenever we go to some public office, we think that it is our right, since we are paying some taxes there, so they are our servant. Okay, it's not, yes, they are public servant, but it's not, they have some dignity also. No, they have also worked hard to get their job, and they also want some respect. So they, and they are working with lesser resources. It's not like something private organization that you click and the things will be sanctioned and you will get the result. Here, to move one thing from one place to other place, there is a particular system if you will not follow system, they will have to answer to the senior officers, and nobody wants to take risks. That's why there is a there is a lack of entrepreneurship, enterprising attitude in the seen in the public servants. They become discontented. Okay, they just do work for the sake of doing the work, and they are least interested. Okay, so we have to see from that side also, no? So but yes, there is some officers are not true, they not do their job honestly. So there is discontent and misgovernance in the rural areas, and Naxals try to mobilize that discontent and misgovernance, okay, and to achieve their objectives. It create condition for non-functioning of the government, okay, and actively seeks disruption. And they mobilize that thing, and they wanted to make the people discontented, and let them misgoverned by killing the people, construction workers who are making roads. Okay, they do not want development activities to happen there. Okay, if development will happen there, then people will seek new opportunities. Their mind will divert to some other progressive things. So they keep they actively seeks Naxal actively seek disruption development activities as a means to achieve its objective of wresting control over whom, or over what, over the country, or over the polity, or over the red corridor. Okay, something like that. Okay, land related factors. Yes, discontent. How? Because there is our society is still not very inclusive or equality. There is no equality or equity, you can say. Why? Because there is evasion of land ceiling laws. Okay, land ceiling laws came, but it is not being followed properly. Some farmers are very have too much land. Some are landless farmer, and the existence of special land tenures. There are some exceptions also provided in the land ceiling laws. So this also tended to create inequality, encroachment and occupation of government and community. Of government and community lands. Okay, even the water bodies. Why? The powerful section of the society. Okay, lack of title to the public land cultivated by the landless poor. Okay, the landless poor who is cultivating a land, he do not have the he doesn't have the title. This land titling laws are not so robust there, so he remains landless, and there was he do not get that benefits, some government schemes which are there for the farmers, or landed farmers, small and marginal farmers. So landless poor always remain poor. Okay, like this. Poor implementation of the laws prohibiting transfer of tribal land to the non-tribals. Okay, in the 5th schedule, so there is a restriction of transferring. Restriction on transferring the land from tribal to non-tribals according to the 5th schedule, but there is poor implementation. Okay, and non-regularization of the traditional land rights. Okay, the farmers, this tribals, tribal peoples have the traditional rights over the land. Okay, these the commodification of the land has been done by this Britishers. No, earlier they had the community rights, they had the traditional rights, they have the historical rights over their land, and they do not understand, or they were not aware of the modern laws which restrict the people to do something over the land on which they are doing some things from long time. Okay, so these rules, regulations, laws being brought by the Britishers. So they had the traditional land rights over there, but this the government do not sometimes fail to regularize that land rights. Okay, and this displacement and forced evictions. Yes, if some companies are coming, or some or dam is being constructed. Okay, and eviction from the land traditionally used by the tribals. Okay, yeah. and development caused by the irrigation and power project without adequate arrangement. Okay, land acquisition for public purposes. These are all, this all give rise to a discontent. Livelihood related issues, lack of food security. Yes, if you take away the land, how will they eat their food? How will they get their food? Okay, they are kind of primitive. These tribal people are kind of primitive people, so they do not know the food processing. They do not know, they just grow their food and they eat their food. Okay, so if you take over the land, so it will hamper their food security as well, and there is corruption in the public distribution system. Okay, if we there is a PDS shop there is corruption there also. Okay, disruption of traditional occupation and lack of alternative work opportunities. If you will disrupt the traditional occupations and and will not provide alternative work opportunities, then there is a natural discontent will rise. Okay, they nobody will concerned about the this loss to the nation. People think about nation only when they are safe. Okay, or they are think that this nation has precious to them. Okay, if this nation becomes the source of their exploitation. Okay, or in the name of nationalism it becomes the source of their exploitation, then they will do the activities which we call it anti-national. Okay, it's like that. Okay, deprivation of traditional rights in the common property resources. Oh, yes, and social exclusion, denial of dignity. Yes, the people generally do not give them the dignified what do you call that, do not treat them with respect. Okay, there is still casteism or untouchability is there, no. So the normal people do that thing. Okay, continued practice in some areas of untouchability in various forms. Yes, we already discussed. Poor implementation of special laws on protection, prevention of atrocities, protection of civil rights, abolition of bonded labor. This is a common thing, no. Every law is being poorly implemented in India. Why? Because of the legacy issues of corruption or lethargic attitude of administration, or lack of resources in the administration. Sometimes if you call the police, sometimes you see that police file FIR for the wrong thing also, and the victim who is the person who got victimized, police file FIR against him or her only out of the popular pressure. Okay, because police people are also human beings, they also care about their life. If they may not oblige to the people there who were agitated, okay, wrongly or rightfully or wrongly, whatever, and beaten a person. Okay, so ideally FIR should be filed against them who has beaten against the people who has beaten the person, because they are nobody to take the law into their hand. But police file FIR against the victim itself. Why? Because there is lack of resources, there is lack of resources to control the mob. Okay, so to pacify the mob, they file the FIR against the person only. It happens with the government officials also. Sometimes they go to see some dispute, and their most priority is like to save their life first, then resolve the dispute. It's because it's natural. People want to protect their life, because how much you tell about dignity, ethical integrity, ethics, morality, but the life of the people fear about their life. Okay, governance related factors, corruption is there. Yeah, corruption is there, and poor provision, non-provision of essential public services like primary healthcare and education. Yes, this is a common problem. No, this is not particularly to this tribal people only. This primary healthcare centers and lack of proper education, incompetent, ill-trained, poorly motivated public personnel. Yeah, incompetent. Yes, ill-trained. Yes, there is a severe. There is a huge there is a lack of training in the public. There is lack of motivation also. Because if public personnel do some job of the people, yes, they are getting paid for that. But yes, the people should also should also say thanks, or should also regard them like, yes, thank you, you have done my work. The people go there in the public office and they think of themselves as that they are the something big, because they have paid the taxes, they are public servant. No man, they are public servant, but they have the dignity also. Okay, they are handling they are handling so many people in the office, per day. Okay, so it is a completely lack of our sensitivity to expect from them to have courteous attitude every time. Okay, they are not robot. Okay, they are ill trained, they are poorly resourced, they are poorly paid as well. Okay, so okay, that's it. The misuse of powers by the police and the violation of the norms of law, perversion of the electoral politics and satisfactory working of the local government institutions. Yes, perversion of the electoral politics. Now with the introduction of EVM, there is no any this ballot is not being captured. Booth is not there is very less instances of booth capturing, but there is perversion of electoral politics. How misinformation, disinformation, or some still there is some booth capturing there, or some gratification to the voters. Okay, something like unsatisfactory working of local governmental institutions. This functionaries. It may be highlighted again that these causes are more glaring in forest areas. Yes, predominantly inhabited by tribal populations, who thus become main instrument of and victims of left extremist violence. Okay, now what should be the counter insurgency strategy? See, follow a path of ballot instead of the path of bullet. Okay, so what leadership, there should be a motivated person. The difference between a crowd and organized discipline is unit is leadership. History is replete with the examples that wars are won and lost not by fighters but by the leaders. So it's like two quotes are there. Wars are won and lost not by fighters but by its leader, and the difference between crowd and the organized discipline unit is leadership. Okay, competent leaders should be there. Okay, sweat and train together. Leaders should be among the people only who are fighting, who are doing the day-to-day activities. It's not like you will para drop a leader, like in the CAPF. There is a debate going on. The chief or head of the CAPF forces, they get IPS, so they want someone from them only, because he will understand more about the working conditions or the problems of the colleagues. Okay, something like that. And competent leaders, Shunju said, great results can be achieved with small forces provided those leading them are skilled at war. Okay, competent enough. This we should ensure that our forces are led by leaders of due competence. So sweat and train together. What? Sweat together to bleed together, train together to fight together. Okay, these are the example. Leader should be should lead by the personal examples. Do not if the leaders do not expose themselves to the danger, how can they expect then his men to expose themselves to the danger? Outsider leader, I said, no, in the CRPF on ground it's led by the inspector and sub-inspector. If a man who is not trained to fight a war is made a commander of the premier counter-insurgency force, then it is a recipe for disaster. Responsibility and accountability, this should be fixed now. Responsibility, the people who is at the board, some authoritative post, who is at some authoritative post, he should be held accountable for his functions, for his job. Dealing with the guerrilla warfare, fight with strategy. Okay, T. Lawrence said guerrilla warfare is more scientific than a bayonet charge. Okay, Mao said those who fight without method do not understand the nature of guerrilla warfare. Okay, the key elements of strategy, flexibility. Yes. I mean, these forces, if they're fighting, they should be flexible. It's not like that they should follow the SOPs. But yes, if you are breaking the SOP and if some untoward thing happen, they have to then. They will be unstable to the higher authorities, or they will be punished as well. So it's a mix of risk and enterprising attitude of the leader. Okay, I mean, you have to take risk if you want to, like, if so it should be flexible. Unpredictability, surprise, mobility, swift action, and deception. Okay, over reliance on SOPs. Yes, this is the main, and drift like water, evaporate like gas. Okay, means it will create fear psychosis. Counterinsurgency forces should drift like water and evaporate like gas. This means being mobile, able to hit the hub centers of the insurgent with a lightning blow with surprise and then vanish. This is easier said than done. No, why? Because the guerrilla forces are not like puppet. No, they are also living in the jungles. They are also being trained in the harsh environments. So you have to first know your enemy better, that how is my enemy. Yes, have confidence in your strengths, but know your enemy as well. Okay, because your enemy is also prepared to kill you. So knowledge of terrain. Yes, we should know the knowledge of terrain. Just like here example of Genghis Khan, Alexander, Mao, who employed geography. Organization and unity of the command. Yes, sometimes this CAPF men are distributed arbitrarily by a collector or a superintendent of police, SP. Okay, who has little idea as to as to how a tactical unit operates. Okay, yes, how can DC be knowledgeable or knowing all the tactical small fine things of the guerrilla warfare or the strategy. Okay, he will not understand, and people will not able to make him understand also, because the CAPF men who are fighting, they have lot of experience, they have lot of learnings along the way. Okay, so and one good day this DC or SP comes and advises them, orders them to do that thing. Okay, so it's like demotivates them, it lowers their morale also, and it leads to loss of lives also, precious life, because this leads to dilution of cohesion of the force. Yes, the principle of unity of command, single command should be there, no, and not every time command is changing. The unity of command must and cohesion of unit should be maintained at all cost. Yes, division of labor. It's not like the CRPF men. We are here in our country. The CAPF forces are everywhere. If something is happening, just state sends requisition for the central forces. If there is a election is there, if disaster is there, if law and order situation is there, if security, they wants to beef up the security. So and CRPF or central armed forces are poorly trained. They are themselves not being trained for such a fluid environment, that one day you are on the election duty, other day you are in the jungle fighting the guerrillas, this Naxal terrorist. Okay, it will build expert. Thus, the counterinsurgency should be separated from the rest of the force. Okay, there should be clear distinction between counterinsurgency force and law and order units. Training men and officers should be separate for both forces, since the mandate is different. Yes, this is what the principle of division of labor says. Okay, intelligence. There should be sound intelligence. Technical intelligence, human intelligence. Okay, satellite intelligence. And now there is a open source intelligence. You have to be street smart. You have to move two step ahead of the times. And you cannot get inflicted by some disaster, and then you will learn. No, you have to learn from the others' mistake as well, or how the world is progressing. Okay, so you have our force should be what do you call that, very flexible and should be able to absorb new technologies, new new procedures like this. Reconciliation. All above things are okay, but conflicts are rarely resolved or terminated by the use of force. The ultimate objective of the use of force is to reconciliation and surrender. Yeah, and for this, NGOs and citizen committees should be used. The good governance and socio-economic development to remove conditions conducive to rise of left-wing extremism. We should have more, we should have administration at all panchayat, block, district, state level. it is there, it is there, this panchayat block district, and people are, it's like, they are, yes, they, some in some places they're powerful also, this 30-year government is very powerful in the very, they, this Kerala, but it's not like they are not they are handicapped in the Bihar. No, there is this block representative there, so it's like, how, whom people are choosing as their leader. Okay, so people to choose their leader, good leader, people should also be, educated, should be aware. Right now people also give vote on the basis of caste, region, on the basis of some other, instead of, on the basis of development. So this is like, so the administration should be accountable, corruption free and responsive. Okay, for this regular social audit should be done, and administration should solve the grievances and ensure socio-economic development. Okay, by undertaking land reforms, proper implementation of forest rights, and development of markets where tribal can sell their agricultural produce, and development of roads, communication, health, education, and they do not fall into their propaganda. Decline of left movement in India. Present status: the February 2018 defeat of a communist coalition after 25 years in power in Tripura, a tiny state, northeast India, seen as the demise of left-wing politics in the country. Yeah, Tripura, they lost after being 25 years in power. Okay, so it was seen as a demise of the left-wing politics in the country. Okay, the coalition, also known as this AI, All India Forward Bloc, left front or front left alliance coalition, All India Forward Bloc. Okay, Communist Party of India, CPI ML, Marxist, Leninist, Liberal, Communist, CPI Marxist, and Revolution Socialist Party. Okay, but the setback is not, that much big, because BJP only got 0.3% vote, above the left there, 42.7% vote still is with the left. Okay, besides West Bengal and Kerala, Tripura, beside Tripura is one of the 3 states where left front under CPIM has ruled for over 30 years. Losing Tripura to BJP, a party saw a 41.1% growth of vote share has and gained 35 seats compared to its 2013 performance, has clearly created a, existential crisis for the leftist ideology. The communists were also wiped out, from the West Bengal in 2011 by a regional party, AITC, Trinamool Congress. Okay, and background: during the early days of democracy, the CPI was a main opposition. Okay, and left-wing parties enjoyed a golden age during 1990s and 2000s. Okay, and when they held government in 3 states, and their parliamentary strength was around 55 to 60. In 2004 they won 59 states, and they were able to force, or they will create unprecedented pressure on the UPA one. Okay, when Manmohan Singh government was discussing Indo-US nuclear 1 to 3 agreement, and they had to go for the vote of confidence. Just Manmohan Singh government just got saved by a whisker. Okay, and this note for vote scam also happened at the time. No, if I remember, note in the parliament. Okay. Declining trend. The left political downfall started during the 2009 general election. Yeah, when AITC booked out, the left front, booted out the left front on 18 parliamentary constituencies. Okay, storming communist strongholds in 9 seats, and where the left was undefeated in past 10 elections. Shit, man, from the past 50 years left was undefeated, and in 9 seats, this AITC, Mamata Banerjee won. Okay, the demise of this government in the West Bengal state election in 2011 was another major setback. In 2014 parliamentary election, left alliance scored a historic low, winning only 11 seats. Yeah. Okay, numerous historical blunders is responsible, like this Jyoti Basu refused the PM post in the third front government in 1996, of withdrawing from the UPA on Indo-US. This was very this was in the very negative light. The amount of pressure which they were creating. The media was also the all the general perception of left, I think became very bad due to this 1 2 3. I mean, not general perception. I was also following the news, so it's like, what are they doing, man? Okay, the land acquisition dispute in Singur. Yeah, there's Mamata Banerjee, sat on the agitation. He threw out Tata Nano. Now in this, we hear from the local of that Singur, whatever it is, village or something, block or whatever, they repent that decision. Okay, because the village is like that only. It has been left by this. However, the most significant setback for the communists was the failure to deliver development, social equality, better infrastructure in the states. You see the status of this West Bengal. One of my friend, Bengali, or was saying that they still can buy Britannia 4 rupees biscuits, this long, if you remember, a packet used to come in 4 rupees, so it is still available in the, yes man, okay, but this West Bengal has not developed as it should have been developed, because it has been under the left rule for so many years. Okay. Also, the mushrooming of regional parties during 1970s. If you remember, when we are reading this formation of the states, then lots of states got formed. I mean, on the basis of language. Okay, on the basis of some statehood were given to the some northeastern states, like in 72, in 66 Gujarat and Maharashtra found in 70, and this no, in 60 this Gujarat, in 66 this Punjab, Haryana, or this one Himachal Pradesh. Okay, so regional parties popped up, and it lowered down the importance of CPI also. Okay, the alliance politics came. No, the left failed to form a coalition with the like-minded groups. There was no same-minded with. So how can they find like-minded? Okay, relevance of left movement. Okay, this Jairam Ramesh referred to the demise of the left as a disaster for the country. Why? Because left stands for the downtrodden and economical deprived section of society, and is perhaps the only bloc confronting plutocracy. What is plutocracy? Plutocracy is the rule of wealthy people. Okay, wealthy people. So the left, what Jairam Ramesh says, the left has to be stronger in India. We are going to fight the left. He's saying the Congress is going to fight the left, but we are political rivals. But I would say that India cannot afford the demise of the left. Okay. So the results in the this Tripura, West Bengal, reflects that people have discarded the leftist politics. Left front still holds a considerable size in the electorate of the Kerala, where they are in the ruling. Okay, and is in a position in West Bengal and Tripura. Two its affiliates CPI and CPI Marxist have national party status. Okay. The left in India subscribes to social and economic equality for all people and supports a secular state. The fall of left coalition government across India would ultimately become the voices of the social equality and secularism. Okay, the way ahead, left needs to be flexible. Yes, they need to be flexible, and I mean, yes, they stand for the social welfare or for the downtrodden, but there are different problems at different places. Okay, you cannot seek. One cannot seek ajadi at every time, at every places. People in Delhi don't need ajadi, if they are, getting obstructed in the road when they are going for the offices for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. Okay, something like that. This is my personal opinion. No offense. Okay, yes, people may need ajadi there, what do you call that, in some hinterland where there is a acute casteism or some other, social ills there. Here, yes, in urban setup there are some social ills, but it is not more pronounced as in the hinterland. Okay, here people have to go to work to earn the livelihood every day, so they are more concerned about the seamless movement of the people, or without any friction. They just want, they want to go without any fear, without any tension of getting late or whatever. Okay, so the Indian left needs to be flexible and in ideas to achieve the bigger goals, instead of sticking to its age-old fashioned politics and waiting for a revolution along the lines of 1970 to sweep the land. This revolution will, never come. I think, whatever, this, the capitalism will rise to that level, and this proletariat will, propertyless class will, the worker class will, rise up, and they'll, this is utopia, okay? Because if anything for this to happen, the large, large scale exploitation should be, happening. They always accommodate this ideology of, this capitalism. Capitalist always accommodate according to the situation, okay? They can learn from China and Russia, see, and the historical flag bearers of the communism. Multilateral reforms and grooming the next generation of leaders to fill the vacuum created over the last 10 years would certainly gear up the bloc to better strategize in upcoming elections. See, they have to bring out the next generation of leaders. Yes, the left is still strong in some of the colleges like JNU or Jadavpur, or some, or in media circle, but they have to have the leaders of the masses, okay? Yes, they speak very good. It's like, yeah, very they are very good orator or debater, but they are disconnected from the masses. They Many people have different problems with respect to the location, time and space, okay? That's why you see this there is a very poor performance of the left parties and recently nowadays, okay? So without and this Kanhaiya Kumar also changed to the Congress. So he was very promising left leader, student leader. Without the marching, what do you call it? Without matching out, revolutionary messages against the, what is that? Declining way ahead. Without reaching out to the electorate, revolutionary messages against the widespread injustice. Yes, without reaching out to the electorate. Yes, you cannot just think that you will shout Azadi Azadi from the college campus and this then you will win the elections. Okay, you have to reach to the masses. Okay, so that is what it is. Without reaching out to the electorate, revolutionary messages against the widespread injustice and equality are meaningless, and rhetoric alone can never bring voters to the ballot box. Yes, of course, agree, completely agree. So that's it. Thank you.